Hey everyone, Zach here. Finally talking about episode 13 of Voltron Legendary Defenders second season, Blackout. I feel like this is kind of a two-sided thing, me having waited so long to get into the series. With season 3 coming up very soon, the craziness, the intensity of this episode, the questions will be answered and the adventure will continue very soon for me. So, while I probably should have gotten into the show sooner, I don't have to wait as long for the next saga to come forth. I'm very sorry for viewers who had to wait since January to have this continuation. And if I remember, the season 3 trailer just recently aired at Comic-Con, I think, and then went online soon after. So not even that long ago for a sneak peek of where things will go next. But anyway, this episode and so much of what it entails. Again, like the previous episode, I'm pretty much just going to do a rundown of this episode's plot. Spoilers, character revelations, where it leaves off going into season 3. So if you don't want such spoilers, check out the episode and come back to this soon. So yeah, the Paladins don't mess around. Starting out, they work quickly to take down the major systems of the Galra Central Command Station, the weapons, the shields, things like that. Granted, even with the virus uploaded, not everything is inactive. There's still communication, the atmosphere controls, but otherwise they're basically just sitting in space. And Zarkon now seizes next big chance to seize the Black Lion, retake control of Voltron, but still concerned about that single focus. Hagar has herself and the druids summon up the Komar energy weapon again. I guess I didn't really realize this at first, but actually in the season 1 finale, that was already used to destabilize the wormhole that the Castle of Lions was leaving through. It wasn't just a regular magic attack, it was very much the druid's super weapon. They temporarily disable Voltron with a blast from the Komar, draining a large amount of the quintessence from it. And thankfully, one doesn't have to consider that returning sea creature looking Robeast as a second one for this season. We now get a fully distinct second enemy of that type. A Robeast piloted by Zarkon himself, in fact, even designed in his image, because, why wouldn't he use his dictatorial ego in that way? But it's designed to function with his use of the Black Bayard. His, at the very least, the sword and chain whip configurations based out of it for the mech's right arm. Has massive wings that can quickly form a shield, and is overall just designed to go toe-to-toe with Voltron, at least on the Paladin's current skill set, given that Voltron's still meant to be the ultimate weapon. Things get intense between that fight, and with the Komar still active, Allura, Colivan, and his number 2, basically, maybe second in command, or otherwise just a bodyguard, Antok leave the castle to try to bypass the Komar and take down Hagar and the Druids. Their fight is pretty kinetic and intense. Unfortunately, Antok perishes in the battle. Allura makes the realization that Hagar is actually Altean, so that raises plenty of new questions. But the battle against her actually awakens previously dormant magical abilities of her own, and quickly hoping to harness them, Allura tries to severely damage the bridge, strike another blow against Central Command. The battle against Zarkon keeps going even as the Lions are separated. Shiro forms his strongest bond with the Black Lion yet, and even summons the wings that the Black Lion psychically showed Shiro recently. And maybe this is the standard ability of them, intangibility. It allows the Black Lion to temporarily phase through Zarkon's Robeast, and with that, Shiro rightfully reclaims the Black Bayard. They reform Voltron once more, form the sword, and through powerful activation of the Black Bayard into the Lion's Council, the sword unleashes a new energy wave that blasts through the Robeast, tears it to pieces. Unfortunately, the power shutdown for Central Command is very temporary, only about 20 minutes, and that battle ends just as things are reactivating on board. So it's not a conclusive victory. They have to make their escape while they can. Even with the battle again partially deactivating the Black Lion, the other paladins have to haul it back onto the castle themselves. But bizarrely enough, when everyone rushes to the cockpit, Shiro is not there. There's no damage to the cockpit. The Bayard is actually still in the console. but its paladin is nowhere to be found. So that's a nice big question mark. And Zarkon actually survives the battle, but he's placed on life support. And Hagar utters the last line of the episode and the season. Nice and ominous, no matter how much of a fan you are, no matter how knowledgeable. Summon Prince Lotor. I'm not sure of his brand's significance, his character history, but I'm safely assuming he's Zarkon's son, and he's going to be the next big bad. But that's how the second season ends. I'm not sure how I would have felt waiting almost half a year to get to this. Well, more than half a year, actually. Late January to early August. So yeah, sort of looking back on the season, first was already very impressive, a lot of fun, and in many ways this one surpassed it. Animation and voice work are as great as ever. Whether regular moments, comedic, action, the blending of 2D and 3D, voice performances from the main and recurring cast, as well as the guest stars. I like that they are now expanding on the spiritual connections between the paladins and the lions. That was a pretty major thing. Admittedly, it was mainly through Shiro and the Black Lion, but there was also a bit of focus on Pidge, and hopefully Hunk, Lance, and Keith get some of the spotlight in that way. Maybe in season 3, maybe 4. The overarching plot with Zarkon tracking them and with wondering about the Blade of Marmora, those were interesting threads that kept going through much of the season. Yeah, I'm guessing the next one will be pretty mysterious, pretty dark. I mean, the second season began with all the paladins basically missing, but they managed to find each other because they all had their lions. They had useful tech around them. They had each other to depend on. But with just a paladin missing, that's pretty serious. So, season 3 is coming up very soon, as of this being recorded and uploaded. It'll be just at the end of the week. Admittedly, I'll still go episode by episode, so to the folks who will decide to binge watch it, sorry if I stumble on plot details that soon change. Sorry that in some way I'm not quite getting the full experience. But I'll probably give it one long go at some point, including the previous 2 seasons. But that's it for now. See you soon in episode 25.